Ago we were at a friend's house a few hours from here, and as we were in their kitchen I was noticing all of the growth marks that they had on one of their doorposts. Maybe your mom or dad or your grandparents did this, and so our friends have growth marks from all of the grandkids and great-grandkids and different dates on them, so you can see how far they've grown, things like that. Kind of a neat deal. So the reason I bring that up is it's important for you to look at the same thing when it comes to your business. Now the problem is most people don't stick around in their business long enough to ever chart their growth. They try it and then move on. But the reality is you've got to give yourself time to grow. You've got to give yourself time to master the skill sets. You've got to give yourself time to learn your craft, and as you go, you want to chart your progress. You want to make note of how far you've come, how far you've grown, what you've been able to achieve, and it gives you a point of reference to look back and say, wow, I really have accomplished something. You know, it's interesting, I went back the other day and I began to just look over how my commissions have grown in the last 3.5 years, and of course, they started small. My first commission check that I ever got was less than $15. You know, my first company that I was a part of sold the cleaning products, and that meant I was buying the wholesale for $5 and selling it for $8, and, you know, keeping $3. And so was not making huge amounts of money, but I look, and those were the foundational building blocks that have allowed me to accelerate to where I am now, and it's what I'm doing today that will allow me to accelerate even into the next level. You know, the problem is, just kind of like that growth chart, we are guilty of being like kids looking up saying, but I want to be as tall as so-and-so. Well, we do the same thing. We see leaders in our industry, and we just want to be right where they're at, but we forget the growth process they went to. They didn't start there. They weren't earning 6 figures in a month in the beginning. Sometimes it took them years, sometimes it took over a decade for them to really learn the skill sets, to learn the craft, to develop all of the relationships it has taken to allow them to accomplish that. Are there exceptions to that? Sure. Every now and then you get a success story that's just hard to explain, but generally if you dig far enough, you'll find that there's a backstory to that success, that there's been a lot of trial, there's been a lot of error, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into that process to get the person to where they are today. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to begin charting your growth. If you've already made money online, then I want you to go back to your first commissions and look at how far you've come. Maybe put a calculator to it. See how much you really have earned online over whatever time period it's been. If you've not made any money yet, then I want you to evaluate some of the other criteria. What are the skill sets you have now that you didn't have before? Maybe you know how to generate leads, and maybe one of the things for you to measure is, starting from where you started, how many leads have you been able to generate? You know, when I came online, I'd never generated a lead online, so I started from zero, and so I can again measure my progress. Maybe you want to measure the things that you've been able to do. You've put up a blog, or you've posted your first YouTube video, or whatever the case may be. But pay attention to those milestones. Make note of them. Draw a little mark on the door frame, and as you come back by it in the years to come, you'll be amazed at how far you have grown. So what I'd love for you to do, click the link below this video, connect with Carol and I on our fan page. You can learn more about what we do there. We look forward to talking with you soon.